Hello, Miles.
Hi, Josh. How are you?
Welcome back to the Tissue Connection. Hello, everybody. Welcome to AATB's brand new podcast. It's produced by the Education Committee.
And me.
And Bravin. Bravin, say hello.
Hello.
You're not on the Education Committee?
No, I am.
Oh, so, okay. But you are the producer.
It's produced by the Education Committee, a.k.a. Bravin.
If you are new to the Tissue Connection, please go ahead and listen to episode 1. This was just released a few weeks ago. We had our very special first guest, George Herrera, Executive Vice President at MTF. It was the incoming AATB board chair who, now I should say as well that we are coming to you live from the annual AATB meeting in Atlanta, Georgia.
They put us in a corner.
They put us in the corner, yeah.
Yep.
Everybody puts babies in the corner, I guess.
Nobody puts the podcasters in the corner.
But they did. Then here we are.
They really did. But this is a great location. We're trying to catch people as they come in. We do have a guest waiting to talk to us. We're going to talk to the guest in just a moment. But I will say, George just took over as chair yesterday. I think the official business meeting was yesterday or Sunday or something like that of the annual meeting. So congrats to George. We're really excited about the direction the leadership is taking AATB. But again, if you haven't listened to episode 1, please do so. So the Tissue Connection podcast, again, brought to you by the Education Committee. Miles, Bravin, and myself are all members of the Education Committee. So this episode recorded live here at the annual AATB meeting will be released hopefully in the next 2 weeks. So be on the lookout for the next episode, which is going to be coming out in November. Topic and guest TBD, but we've got some exciting plans for you all. You can find this Tissue Connection, YouTube, Spotify, LinkedIn, and the AATB.org website. Anything else? Did I catch everything? Did I do all the housekeeping?
I think you did. Not
done?
quite Apple Music yet, because Apple Music is a joke for podcasters, but that's my little...
We digress.
That's your little...
Yeah,
plug.
I digress on that one.
Soapbox over.
Yeah. So we are going to be grabbing people as they come into the exhibit hall, which is where all of the vendors have their booths, as well as this is the lunch hour. So we're going to get people as they're coming in for lunch. So we're going to get people, hopefully you'll be able to hear lots of folks, lots of your colleagues. But first, we have our first guest. Welcome to the Tissue Connection.
Good morning, good morning.
And tell everybody what your name is.
My name is Anthony. I work for Nevada Donor Network.
Excellent. Welcome, Anthony. So you are from Nevada Donor Network. You
Correct.
just said, yeah. And what is your title there?
I am a tissue donation specialist.
Excellent. So what is that?
Though.
Yeah.
I recover all the tissue. I do all the extractions for it.
Excellent.
So I'm the one in the field.
So you're in the recovery side.
Yeah.
Excellent.
How many years have you been in tissue?
Almost 2.
Nice. That's great.
Thank you.
And is this your first meeting? Have you been to other?
This is my first meeting.
First meeting?
Mhm.
So how are you liking it?
It's pretty fun.
Yeah?
It's definitely different from what I'm used to as far as meetings go. So
yeah? Okay.
Definitely different.
So give us a couple takeaways.
Ooh.
Favorite, you don't have to do takeaways if you need to think more about that. I'm going to put you on the spot. But
Yeah.
what has been some of your favorite moments or sessions?
Honestly, what I've enjoyed thus so far has been the diversity of the medical staff that is on board when it comes to AATB, especially in the aspects of looking at, various topics, but all different perspectives. For example, earlier today when Dr. Ed and Dr. Ray were chatted, they had 2 different perspectives, and you can see where their mindset sits and what direction they're going to go with it. And that's it's pleasant. It's nice to see that not everyone is going to always be on board. Some people are on board.
Right.
But that's the name of the game.
Right.
I think that's cool. And I also, the tissue donation from the perspective of, some friends of mine who have medical training, and it's widely known that I have none. I view things through the lens of everybody's it's from the perspective of death versus I think the perspective of, I treated patients living for a long time as an infectious disease doctor, and so I know what these disease processes look like when you survive them. And I'm like, nobody ever survived. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think I love that part.
No, it's interesting, and I think the panel. So you're Anthony's talking about the panel we had this morning, infectious disease panel, when we had 5 very, 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 very experienced SMEs from all over the tissue banking community, and I think the point of that session, and actually the point of the whole annual meeting, is about collaboration and seeing all of those different views come together and learning from each other. I've learned so much over my years attending the annual meeting from my colleagues, just as much as the sessions as well. And so I think that's a really great takeaway.
Thank you.
Awesome. What brought you to tissue banking?
I was actually in the wine industry for
No
nearly
way.
a decade. Yeah.
Okay.
I was.
Wow, that's
did
a
it all.
left turn or left. I did it. I went right and I said left turn.
That's not one
Yeah.
that I've heard yet. Usually it's
Yeah.
I was a paramedic, I'm a funeral director.
Yeah.
10 years in the wine
LPN.
industry, that's
Yeah,
not one
yeah,
that
yeah.
I've heard yet. So
I was the guy you called to entertain. So
Wow.
if you needed a fine dining experiences, I did private dinners all the way to private tastings, tours. I did it all, even down to working on the production side.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So how'd you find this job?
Yeah.
So I have a background in cellular molecular biology, and
You buried that lead.
Yeah. I love how you start with the wine.
Led with the wine.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
you're like, I started in wine, but I'm actually brilliant.
Funny enough, when I finished up my schooling, I had started my schooling many ages ago, shortly after the military, and took a little break to dive into the wine industry. And then when COVID occurred, I was like, you know what, I might as well do something with the free time. So I went right back to school,
Wow.
continued on, and then got a random phone
So
call.
most people binge The Office. You went to school.
Mhm.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
Okay.
Tiger King had
he binged
nothing on you.
biology classes.
Binge biology class. That's really cool. Well, this is very exciting for you to be our first guest here at this. We picked a good one. I don't know if we can top a sommelier who's also a scientist.
We're actually just going to end it after 6.5.
Yeah.
My
Like
God.
I said, my old meetings used to be us drinking together
Yeah,
and
yeah.
enjoying some good food.
By the way, thank you for your service. You just mentioned
Thank you.
military. So as we end every guest
Mm-hmm.
interview, we're going to ask you some quick hit questions, but we have 3 of them. But before we get to those, I want to ask you what your favorite wine is.
My favorite wine?
Yeah.
Chianti Reserve,
Interesting.
100%.
Okay.
Sangiovese, anything like that. If you find a good one that's a little bit more of an old world style, it actually makes a really nice demi-glaze. If
That's
you
very
use
cool.
Plenty of sugar and spices.
Talk about
understood some
learning
of
from
those
our
words.
colleague.
Yeah, and I have a question too.
Yeah.
Go.
Like y'all get to go around with Lego. I'm on wine. Okay, I was at a restaurant 12 years ago.
Okay.
We were having wine, and the wine tasted like it was the best. It tasted like it was dry, and it tasted like somebody had cracked a bunch of black pepper in it.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? Is that a Chianti?
So you were probably drinking something more of like a Cabernet Sauvignon or a Cabernet Franc. You can even get that from a Zinfandel especially. You get more of what's called a white pepper note. What ends up happening is that there's actually capsaicin in some of the, more so Cab Franc. You'll get the spice molecule in there, and that'll actually give you plenty. If you get like beta capsaicin, especially in Cab Franc, and it's in enough type of, let's say, extreme weather such as heat, a lot of the fruit will try to be reserved by the plant, and so you get this nice concentration. You get a lot of flavor. If there's a little bit more water in that air, a lot more moisture, let's say you're on this, central coast of California, what ends up happening is that moisture won't be as taken away, so you'll get a little more fruit.
Okay.
And so you have to take in consideration of those areas and soil on top of that. There's a lot of variables that play into this. But you're most likely drinking like a Cab Franc, a Zinfandel, Cabernet Sauvignon. And if it's from California and it's
Awesome.
less than 25%, you can actually mix other things into it without specifying that it has other things into it.
That is awesome.
That's so cool. Okay.
Side note, I do love Sangiovese. Okay. Here's our quick
AATB Wine Club.
yeah,
It's like,
or
I
new,
think Legos are cooler, though.
okay.
new podcast.
We could do both.
I have
All right,
Legos too, so
Wine night Lego building.
Anthony, here are your quick hit questions. Summer or fall?
summer.
Good. And I didn't tell you this before. You already did. I said, don't think, just answer.
Mm-hmm.
Peanut butter with or without jelly?
Without.
Without.
Yep.
Without, okay. And in honor of our social event tonight, we're going to the Atlanta Aquarium. Sea turtles or whale sharks?
Oh, whale sharks.
Whale sharks. Very
Absolutely.
good.
Agreed.
Thank you so much for
Thank you
being
so
our
much.
first
Yeah.
guest. We love it. And
Thank
have
you,
a
thank
great
you.
rest of your conference.
You too.
All right. Yourself.
I'm Ann Krieger from Versity,
Nice, Ann. Thank
Organ
you.
and Tissue.
Thank you for sitting down and joining the Tissue Connection.
Yeah.
If you don't know us already, I'm Josh.
I'm Miles.
Okay.
And you know me.
Yeah. Nice, nice to see you all.
Josh, Miles, and me. So welcome to the Tissue Connection.
Yeah.
We do have some questions for you. First, tell us, you said your name already, where you're from. What's your title at Versity?
I'm Director of Organ and Tissue.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. And the next question, I know the answer to this because I've seen you here before, but is this your first meeting?
It is not.
It is not. How many times have you been to annual
Oh
meetings?
gosh, long time. So I've been in donation for like almost 27 years. So I don't even know.
Don't even know. Yeah,
It's a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too much to count.
Too much to count.
So, can you share with us some takeaways or some favorite things about this 2025 annual meeting so far?
Yeah. Well, I just came from a session that I really liked about corporate strategy and how you build quality. So that's the one thing I'm thinking about a lot about right now is like how we engage from my position, and I'm all about culture and about organizational culture, and the most important resource we have are our employees and our staff, and so keeping them engaged and invested in the mission and connected. I mean, I've found that I've changed our interview strategies over time. But if you do have somebody who's very connected in a passionate way to the mission and very aligned, I think that's a really great. There was a lot of sharing about how different organizations did that and methods in order to ensure that you maintain your strong workforce, which I think is obviously one of the most important parts of having a quality organization.
That sounds like a really awesome session.
It was an awesome session. I also really liked the speaker yesterday. I can't remember her name. The neuroscientist that that kind of kicked off the whole
The plenary,
meeting.
yeah.
Plenary, yeah. She was. We can do hard things. I mean, I actually have already taglined that back home.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, we're gonna dig into some of her content at home. So
That's
I thought
great.
she had a great message.
She did such a great
She
job,
was
and
so good.
all of the sessions that I attended, it was so cool. The number of people who were
They
talking
use
about the invisible thread,
Yeah.
and it is. I mean, we're connectors by our job,
Right.
and I think she did.
Such a good job.
Such an amazing
So we're talking about our keynote speaker, whose name is Dr. Chika Stacy Oriwa, and the education committee was thrilled to have
Yeah.
discovered her and
Yeah.
brought her in. She was quite amazing, and I have to agree with you. I've heard her catchphrases throughout the rest. Yes, we
the
can
last
do
2
we
days.
can
Yeah.
do hard things. And she was so inspiring,
Very.
and really went along with this year's theme.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And she wove. I just love how she wove in like the art and the science, because I think you're
Yeah.
in a room full of people who really gravitate towards the science piece of things, and so for me it was like it was a different type of keynote speaker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I really liked her point about solidifying the soft skills. We've
Yeah.
talked about this, and we're more on the donor family side
Oh yeah.
historically.
Yeah.
There's a lot of skill that it takes in being empathetic and,
Yeah.
and meeting a family in their moments of grief that
Yeah.
it's hard to quantify. You don't get a master's in being a good listener. Like
Right.
you get a master's in a surgical technical
right.
skill. But
Right.
she really brought both of those in a scientific way, and I thought
Yeah.
that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Highly recommend everyone listening to check out Dr. Chika Stacy Oriwa on all of her socials. She's on LinkedIn and,
Yeah.
and Instagram and all that stuff. So,
We'll even drop them in the description below.
yes, thank you, Bravin.
It's a podcaster term. you know,
Yes,
or YouTube.
I love it. I love
You
it.
guys are totally exposing me as a person who has never listened to a podcast. It's
Now she
really
co-hosts one.
ironic.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you're a co-host,
Yeah.
and hopefully, I know you listened to the first episode. So
I
you're-
did.
Yeah, you're cracking that that podcast fandom.
That's right.
So, Ann, tell us what brought you into the industry.
Oh, Jack. Boy, well, I started organ. It was primarily organ. And I was my background is nursing. And I went to a trauma conference and heard about this work. And there was a position open, and I applied.
Nice.
And so I was like a nurse for like a year and a half in an ICU right out of school, and then this is really all I've ever done. And I've kind of I've done a lot of different things. And then in 2010, the OPO and the tissue bank came together under a blood center, and we've been together ever since. And so I really haven't been doing tissue really all that time, but since 2010, I've been deeply into the tissue piece of it.
You're
as
pretty
well.
much a lifer, just like the rest of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah,
get it out now.
yeah.
I don't have
Yeah.
any other skills.
So it was just that I think along the way I've had personal connections because I think it's hard, for being in the industry that long.
Right.
There's a lot of now personal connection points, but it did not start with one.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Do you have any more questions for Ann before we go to the quick hits?
I'm ready for quick hit.
Let's do quick
Okay,
hits.
quick hits.
We're ending every interview with quick hit questions you can't think about. You just got to answer. There's
Oh
3
gosh,
questions.
that scares me.
The first one:
They're good ones. Don't worry.
Okay.
summer.
You'll pass.
Summer or fall?
Fall
Fall. Okay.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Peanut butter with or without jelly?
with.
With.
Wow.
Okay.
What flavor jelly?
That was a
though?
quick one. That was
Yeah,
a quick one.
quick- yeah.
grape.
Grape jelly.
Oh,
I like all kinds of
wow.
jelly.
Or like a marmalade.
Marmalade. Peanut
Or,
butter.
Oh, no, no.
or a preserve.
Are you having
Peanut
peanut
butter.
butter and marmalade?
Oh.
All right,
I don't know.
Brad.
Maybe
That must be a Midwest thing.
it's an Ohio thing. We're all
Ohio,
right.
yeah.
Ohio.
Ohio.
Super haunted. Tons
Your
of-
Ohio is showing.
Yeah.
Good thing we're not on camera.
With a side of Buckeye. In honor of tonight's event here at the annual AATB meeting in Atlanta, we're going to the aquarium. Sea turtles or whale sharks?
Sea turtles.
Sea turtles.
Sorry, I thought about that one a little longer.
I think I would choose sea turtles. Too.
I know.
Although whale sharks.
At first I was going that way, but then I'm like thought about the sea turtles. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
you gotta love the sea turtle.
I think
Awesome.
the sea turtle at the aquarium. I think his name is Tank. And he's like
that's
almost 400
That
pounds.
tracks. Ann, thank you so much for being
Well,
the
thank
Tissue
you so
Connection.
much. This has been fun.
Awesome.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank
Cool. All right, so we have our third guest who just sat down and joined us. Gabriella, welcome to the Tissue Connection. I already gave away your name, but why don't you introduce yourself and tell us where you're from?
I am from deep South Texas, as far as Texas will go. I've found myself saying that a lot because people
Where
will
is it?
ask. Very, very South Texas.
Harlingen.
North Mexico.
Harlingen?
Yeah, Harlingen.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Some of the best
I'm in
food
Dallas.
I've ever had in my entire life has been down there.
Yeah.
Yes,
Ooh,
it's
interesting.
great.
That's awesome.
So I have been in the industry for about 7 years now. I first started as an FSC, then I went to recovery, then I had to step back from the OR when I started having my kids, and I switched over to HD. And
Nice.
now that I'm done having kids, now I'm trying to come back on as a leadership role, helping Texas Donor Network really, align with all of our missions, making sure that we are. The issue that we're facing right now is that we kind of grew a little bit too fast. So now we're having to
a
scale
good
it back
problem to
and
have, yeah.
work backwards.
Yeah.
Too fast, too furious.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Well, welcome to the podcast. We're excited to have you. So what is your title at Tech?
I am the Director of Hospital and Community Relations, but as I tell a lot of people here that I meet during the conference is if my CEO, Russell, if he gives me the hat, I will put it on.
Yes.
You wear many hats. I know that
Yes.
feeling.
Yes.
I think
Especially
that-
with Russ.
Yes.
That squirrel.
Yeah.
I think that is very indicative of many of the leaders in this industry,
Yeah.
right? And maybe that's why they're leaders, right? Because they're willing to wear any hat, right? Sure, I'll do that. Sure. What is
Yeah.
that? Sure, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Right. Because at the end of the day, it's about spreading the word on donation and also helping the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. So is this your first meeting? You've been here a bunch of times.
This is my first meeting officially. I did attend the one last year in Colorado, kind of as a tag along. I was
Okay.
able to network, and I'm sorry to say, I did attend a couple of sessions towards the end. But
I won't tell anybody.
but yeah, this is my first time officially
Awesome.
with the name tag.
Gotcha. Excellent.
Officially official.
Officially
Yes.
official.
I don't even. Oh, wait, my name tag's over there. I didn't know where it was for a second.
I'm wearing mine. My fellow Miles has hers. So tell us about some takeaways, your favorite session so far. What are you enjoying about this annual meeting?
Well, getting to hear and learn from everybody in the industry. I come out here and I say, oh, I've been in the industry for 7 years, and I'm sitting next to somebody that's been in it for 34.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing getting to hear what they have to say and what they've learned from being in the industry for so long, what has changed, what hasn't changed. And it's right now, I just came back from a session that really pushed how you need to approach any aspect of what you're doing with a quality mindset first. And that's something I'm very eager to take back to my team, how you need to identify, your KPIs, right? You need to meet them, and you need to just with a quality in mind.
Yeah, I'm learning about all these sessions that I didn't go to.
Yeah.
When people sit down, I'm like, oh, I missed that one. That sounds like a really great session.
Yes, it was phenomenal.
I think it's really cool because tissue banking is such a niche industry, and because like lots of people know about organ donation because you see all the adverts and stuff like that. Like, oh, someone needs a kidney, but like tissue banking is even more niche than that. And having people that have been in the industry 20, 30, 40 plus years. I mean, my colleague Jeff Wiggins at Artivion, 37 years. He's
Wow.
employee like 19 at
Wow.
it's probably a little bit higher. I think I change the number every time I ask him. But there's so much experience in the industry, and it's really, really cool to be able to sit and learn from everyone because I don't think I've met a person that hasn't been willing to like sit and talk and share some
Right.
type of knowledge about anything in this industry.
Well, I
which is
think
super cool.
to that point, Brevin, I think even the folks that have been around for 30, 40 years will tell you they're still learning.
Yeah.
Right. That's one of the things that's great about this industry is it's so evolving, innovating, ever changing, and so you become a lifelong learner.
I also will counter this, yes, and this, to say I love the newbies, like who are coming from the wildest other places because their questions are going to be so good.
Right.
And what I like about this industry because it's ever changing is that the people who have been in for a long time are excited about that. It doesn't feel like an industry where the people at the top are like these kids these days. You know, they're more like, oh, we'll go along with it. And I think that's probably
There's
rare.
not a lot of because we've always done it this way.
No,
Yeah.
Right.
it's we'll make it better. We'll make it
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
Something that I really liked that I kind of wasn't prepared for was the international presence. So Harlingen is a border town, but you can't compare Harlingen as a border town to San Diego.
Right.
And getting to hear how individuals from Mexico are trying to combat the myths and misconceptions, things that happen in Mexico are a lot of what's happening in our area right now. So being able to connect with them and learn from what they're doing and be able to establish that relationship has been great. It was because we hear what, for example, New England Donor Service is doing up there. It's not going to be able to translate down
Right.
here.
Right. I'm so glad you mentioned that as a takeaway. We're really proud as education committee members who get involved with some of the planning. This meeting was supposed to have a sense of a global network. And we had an international panel session where Dr. Martinez from Mexico was sharing some of that data and information. And it was so great to hear that perspective. And because our world is small in terms of
More connected than ever.
yeah, and how many people are doing this, and we feel all the same headaches and obstacles, but we also can celebrate the same successes and learn from each other. Yeah, I'm so glad you had that as a takeaway. Yes,
a win.
we did it.
It's almost like we planted you here.
Yeah,
No, it was great.
I'll pay you later. What brought you into the industry?
I graduated from the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, and at the time I was working with a plastic surgeon. And I would want to say about 90% of his patients were breast cancer reconstruction patients. Okay. A lot of those reconstructions were done with donated tissue, allografts. And out of the years that I worked with him and out of the cases that we did, I only ever heard him talk about donation once.
Really?
And it was butchered. It was not great. Wow. He did not do a good job of, translating that to the recipient. And that's actually something that has come up here in a couple of sessions that I've attended, how we are going to address that disconnect from our actual transplant, the people transplanting the allograft, how they're going to speak about it with their patients to help us drive the aftercare program a little bit better, how we can connect recipients and donors, and how it starts with the surgeons and the facilities. And in a way, we're kind of shooting ourselves in the foot because in the hospital, we ask the doctors not to talk about donation. Don't even mention it. Don't stay away from it. And now we're seeing that, now they're taking that back in clinic and they're not talking about it with the individuals that are receiving these transplanted gifts. So,
yeah, I have so much to say with what you just said.
We could do a whole episode about it.
Yeah, we actually should.
There's so much there because it is a bit of a catch-22, right? And the reason we don't want, we prefer not to have the approach happen from non-tissue banking and organ procurement organization professionals is because those folks don't have the training and they don't really know how to bring it up. But I think we are kind of nothing without our hospital partners. We really are, and there has to be a strong relationship building. That's got to be, I commend you for the work that you're doing in South Texas with hospital development. But the other side of it is the transplant surgeons, right? Understanding where the graft that they're using has come from and how to effectively explain that to recipients, for sure.
I always say, like, I wish I could just have a snippet of a donation discussion in my pocket that I could share with someone, because it is such a wild, miraculous moment that that a family even answers the phone,
Right.
that they are even able to have that conversation. And I think healthcare providers want to protect their patients from any harm, but to see the care that goes into those discussions and some of the beauty that comes out of those discussions at the time of death, walking into the tray, is so meaningful. And I feel like you can't help but be inspired by the humanity of it. And I wish that, we could do more education on that, because, and I think I would love for there to be policy or legal action on the process for informing what informed consent looks like. And I mean that on the registration side. And I mean that on the transplanting side, because we see in the organ community, people know that heart came from somebody else. But when people say cadaver, I'm always like,
My eyes twitch.
yeah. Cadaver's the new, what's the word?
Harvest.
Yeah.
That word makes me have a stroke.
Yeah. Yeah,
Please
both
stay
those
safe.
Well, Gabriella, thank you so much for sitting down with us here in the AATB Annual Meeting at the Tissue Connection podcast. We do have 3 more quick hit questions. These are not tissue banking related. These are just for fun. You can't think about it. You just got to answer quick. Okay, here we go. Question 1, summer or fall?
Summer.
Summer, okay. Peanut butter with or without jelly?
With jelly.
That stumps people a little bit, yeah.
That's
With
because
jelly.
I like it with honey.
Oh, interesting.
That's a good one.
Okay, Bravin likes marmalade.
It was a joke.
I like chocolate
I
because
prefer
I'm a
it
normal
with,
person.
I know.
marshmallow fluff, actually.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
and then
Are you
toast
from
it.
New England? Jeez. Sea turtles or whale sharks?
Sea turtles.
Sea turtles.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you so much for having me. My husband, who's also in the industry, we've actually listened to
Oh,
the episodes.
nice.
We saw it when it launched, and we put it on. Our kids were like, please, can we watch Bluey? No, we have to listen to this.
Oh, that's so cool.
And
It's
now
time to listen to work.
And now they can listen to you.
Yes. Oh,
Yes.
that's true.
Excellent.
Oh, that'll be
Thank
cool.
you so much for having me. It was a
You got
pleasure.
it.
Thank
All
you.
right. Enjoy the rest of your meeting. All right, Dave, we're going to stop talking about the weather. Welcome to the Tissue Connection. Would you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, I'm David Saldana. I'm with Texas Donor Network. I've been with Texas Donor Network since 2019.
Excellent.
Started off as family services for a few years. I went on to join the eye bank as a recovery technician for ocular tissue. Did that for a few years. My boss at Texas Donor Network says he wants to bring me on full time as their quality director. And so I've been doing that for a few years now.
Awesome.
awesome.
Good for you. Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the Tissue Connection once again. Is this your first annual meeting, second? You've been here a bunch?
So I got certified 3 years ago. Last year was my first annual meeting. This is my second.
Nice.
And so last year was great. This year's just as great. Learning a lot. It's very motivating to see individuals and other industry leaders who are very passionate about what they do. Very insightful. And every time I come, I'm always constantly learning new things that I can bring back to my organization.
Well, to
implement
that-
best practices there.
I was going to say, you had a nice transition.
Yeah,
there.
thanks.
Wow.
We could have teed that up any better if I'd tried. What do you think this year has been your favorite part or takeaway, if there is one?
So this year, the organization that I'm with is relatively it's a smaller organization. It was founded in 2018, and so we've definitely grown quite a bit over the last couple of years. And as their quality director, it's kind of my responsibility to make sure we're doing things that are, of course, compliant with both AATB and FDA and all that good stuff. And so a lot of this year I'm focusing, or what seems to be more appealing to me, is getting our leadership together and a lot of alignment, as it comes to making sure that everything that we're implementing that's changing, adding to our systems is aligned with, our mission and our vision and things like that.
Right. That's great. I mean, I think that, when you talked before about networking and collaboration, that's a huge component of this meeting every year. We talked earlier with some guests about you never stop learning, regardless of how long you've been in the industry for. You're always learning new things. There's not a lot of because we've always done it this way stuff, and I love that. I mean, even yesterday there was some like 2 or 3 things I wrote down. I'm like, oh, I got to think about that for when I go back to my organization. Yeah, so that's exactly the goal. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's been great. Last year, it being my first year, didn't do a whole lot of networking. I was still kind of trying to get my sea legs under me.
Yeah.
But definitely coming back the second year, seeing a lot of familiar faces who I saw last year, definitely making those connections, networking quite a bit more this year.
That actually inspires me to ask you another question about that. So what advice would you give to first-time attendees, since you just were a first-time last year?
Advice that I have to give to first-time attendees is just to put yourself out there. Like I said, I was from a small organization. I was like, these people are from giant organizations. They can't possibly be going through the same thing that we're going through, but then sitting through some of these sessions, they're bringing up a lot of the same stuff that's very relevant and applicable to our organization.
Right.
So just like I said, put yourself out there. We're all here to learn from each other and improve and advance as an industry together.
I think the thing for me to that point that I need to remember, and maybe everyone else would too, is we forget that we can reach out to each other not at the annual meeting.
Yes.
Yes. Because it's a very out of sight, out of mind. You get into your zone, and then coming here feels in some ways like therapy, because you're like, oh, I'm not alone.
Yep.
I'm not the only one dealing with this. And I think that would be my suggestion, is that we just keep reaching out. Like, remember your people and just check in with them.
It's easy to sit in the silo.
Oh,
right?
so easy.
Yeah.
At your own organization, no less. But yeah.
I think it's interesting because you made a really good point, or your comment about you coming from a small organization and there's organizations that are much bigger. We're all doing the same thing.
Right.
And we're all doing it in different capacities. And I mean, everyone had to start somewhere.
Right.
So not everyone started as this massive organization that has everything structured and well put together. It's a growing opportunity, and I think I make that comment every once in a while. It's like tissue recoveries are, I don't want to say they're fun to do, but like it's different enough every time that you do it that it's not repetitive. Like coding.
Oh, that's
inspiring.
really interesting.
My dad codes for a living. I could not do that. It doing kind of the same thing over and over again. But like, yes, you're gonna recover MS and skin day in and day out, but each case is slightly different. That keeps it enough.
Right.
So it's like, but again, like it's like you said, small organization compared to big organization. It's everyone has to start somewhere, but we're all doing the same thing, working towards the same mission, same goals, same values, and everything like that. I think that's really cool.
It's inspiring, right? I mean,
yeah, for sure.
To be in this industry every day and have new experiences and new cases and be learning, that's the inspiring stuff for sure.
Yeah, and that's why I would look forward to this every year. Like I said, every time I come back, my coworker's like, "Oh, what are we going to do now?" I'm like, no, you don't understand.
You're like,
This is
"Here's
what
my
it-
budget.
All right, what's the new project,
this is what we're
David?
supposed to be implementing. This is what they're looking
Right.
for during our FDA audits. But I don't know if Gabby had mentioned this, but we just got our AATB accreditation this year.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's
So we're
awesome.
super
Excellent.
excited about
Yeah.
that. Like I said, we're
official.
growing. We're doing a lot of big steps. We're moving away from paper. That's kind of
If I remembered which
That's a big
pad
deal.
was the claps, I would have claps.
I know,
going.
right?
But I've got 9 of them, and I don't know which one they are. So
Ravin can't work his own soundboard. Excellent. There you go.
Yay.
me clapping.
Yeah, congratulations
we're
on that.
super
That's
excited
great.
about that. There's
Yeah.
a lot of hard work has gone into
Absolutely.
that. And,
It's
a lot of thanks have to be given to those connections that I've made here at AATB last year.
Yeah,
Still a handful of them that I constantly reaching out to. And then going back on that, saying that we can reach out outside of the conference, that's probably one of the the best things that comes out of networking here, is because I'm constantly reaching out to
Yeah.
them all the time, and not once making new connections. Nobody's ever like, don't reach out to me.
No, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
They're like, please reach
yeah,
out to me.
and
I
here's
wanna
all my
follow-
work. You can have it. Yeah.
Great.
Copy off of me.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, David, thank you so much for being on the podcast. We're going to end every interview with 3 quick hit questions. You can't think about them. You just got to answer. Okay, you ready? Summer or fall?
We only have summer, so I'm gonna go with summer.
Summer. Okay. Good
Consistency,
answer.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Peanut butter with or without jelly?
With, but it has to be mixed.
Ooh,
Like,
it's
swirl.
that's a
Blended?
new that's a new answer.
yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That is my favorite question.
Yeah, I like it a lot actually. And finally, in honor of the event tonight here at the annual meeting in Atlanta, we're going to the aquarium. Sea turtles or whale sharks?
I would have to go with whale sharks.
Whale sharks.
Yeah, we have sea turtles from where we're from. We actually have a.
Oh, wow.
It's called Sea Turtle Inc. It's a turtle rescue organization
Oh,
out of the
wow.
island there.
Oh.
And so they do a whole bunch of community outreach and then.
So you're like, sea turtles are covered.
Like,
I'm going for
yeah,
whale
yeah.
sharks.
I was like,
Yeah.
whale
I got
shark,
that
never
covered.
seen that before.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, cool.
David, thank you so much
Yes, thank
for
you for
being
having me.
here. Enjoy the rest of your meeting.
Alrighty, thanks.
You were great.
My name is Woodley Ambrose. I currently serve as the Senior Director of Organ Operations and Surgical Recovery with LifeGift, the OPO in Houston.
Nice.
And I'm also proud to say that I'm the President-elect for AMAT, the Association for
Excellent.
Multicultural Affairs and
Congratulations.
Transplantation.
So glad you're
Thank you.
here. Welcome.
Awesome.
We're going to have some AMAT questions for you, I think.
Yeah,
This is
Great.
exciting.
And it's my first time, so.
It's your first meeting.
Oh,
Yeah.
double whammy. Let's go.
Well, welcome 1,000 times. We do have to say one of your colleagues, Emmett Savannah, is a dear friend of ours and dear colleague on Education Committee, part of the core planning team as well for the annual meeting. And we missed Emmett. Emmett couldn't come to this year, but we love him. And he's a key member of the Education Committee.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Excellent. So share your title again. I'm sorry, I missed it.
With LifeGift, I'm
LifeGift, yeah.
the Senior Director of Organ Operations and Surgical Recovery with.
Excellent. And how long have you been in the industry?
I've been in the industry last month, made it 13 years.
13 years. Excellent.
Another
Awesome.
lifer. Okay.
Yeah, another lifer.
I know, right?
And what brought you to the industry?
Interesting. So a little bit about my background, so it'll make sense.
Please.
So I always wanted to be a doctor when I grew up, and but then in college you flip, you flop, you wonder what you're gonna do.
Your frontal cortex isn't developed. Like,
No.
I mean, mine's still not. So.
Yeah.
we got a couple years for Brevin.
Right. So then I wanted to go, then I didn't want to go. Then I'm like, do I want to do nursing? Do I want to do occupational therapy? So when I finally decided to go, I would have to sit a year out to be able to take the MCAT and apply. So I was like, oh, okay. Someone told me about Mexico. So I said, let me go to medical school in Mexico. It's not Cancun. It's not Cabo. It was Mexico. So got there. I was able to finish my last year to do some of my rotations and stuff in Houston with the Baylor College of Medicine.
Oh, nice.
But of course, as a foreign medical graduate, it's harder for you to get a residency spot because the requirements are a lot higher than it is for U.S. graduates.
Right.
So it was difficult for me to go ahead and get a spot. So we started and we looked, and I was like, okay, fine, let me do something else while I'm waiting. So I did respiratory. Did that for about 2 years, and I got bored. So I said, I need to do something else. So I said, okay, next best thing, let me be a PA. Decided to go back and take some classes that I didn't have as an undergrad, and the medical school they was going to use that, but I still need some
Right,
Texas courses.
Yeah.
And then I met someone who worked for the LifeGift OPO, and here we are 13 years later.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
That's a great backstory.
Yeah.
And I love that nearly every person's journey to this industry is different, right? And it's like left turns and right turns and upside down. And Miles has a bus story, which is funny. But to listen to that, you have to just hear that. Listen to the episode 1. But that's great. Excellent. So first annual meeting. What have you liked so far? What some takeaways? What's been a highlight?
I like the networking event. I like the fact that everybody's so friendly and so welcoming. Mark Pierce has been great. I like also being on the Organ side of things. There is still some content for me that was
Yes.
relevant, and I was able to attend.
Oh, that's
so that makes a difference.
That's great. Yeah, I think networking is huge. I've made so many connections here myself over the annual meeting. I know Bravin and Miles as well. And that's one of the main, I think, goals, and especially with this year's theme, coming together, unity, because I'll speak on behalf of the education community if I can.
Of course you can.
You're our boss.
Last year,
Our unpaid boss.
Yeah.
one of the main takeaways and one of the main things that folks said about the annual meeting was just what you said, and that feedback inspired the theming for this year. So that's great.
I also think we know in the industry that, I'll say it, tissue is often considered the second cousin twice removed that nobody talks about anymore, you know, and I'm grateful for more Oregon perspectives here because it does show that we have so much in common, and I know the theme of this is unity. We're stronger together moving forward, and I think the more of a big picture we have, the better we're able to serve our community.
Absolutely.
So thankful that you're here.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Awesome. Now, I do have to shout out AMAT and Kai for
He's amazing,
collaborating with us
Yes.
on the education committee. We have created lots of joint webinars and educational opportunities, and we are so thankful for that collaboration, and we hope that continues
Absolutely.
in the next year. So tell us about the exciting things that are happening with AMAT.
And I'm happy you said about continuing collaboration because we do want to go ahead and bring tissue also as well because we do have a tissue track
Nice.
at the AMAT meeting. So we want to continue that collaboration. We want to continue to have you guys involved. We want to continue to have webinars for you guys to be able to present at the conferences. So like you mentioned, Miles, sometimes we don't understand it's organ and tissue. An eye donation. It's not just organ donation.
Right.
There are people, burn victim, people who need bone graft, and they don't really understand the whys behind certain things. So it's our responsibility as the transplantation donation community to be able to bring that information to them, to be able to provide them with the knowledge and the awareness for them to be able to know what it really is.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. And for those, we assume most everybody knows what AMAT stands for, but can you
Of course.
say that acronym for us?
Of course. AMAT stands for the Association for Multicultural Affairs in Transplantation.
Excellent. Thank you.
You passed your
Yeah.
test.
Well, we have, we have to appeal to all the listeners. We don't know if they're brand new to tissue banking. Maybe they don't know what AMAT
Yeah,
is.
my mom's very grateful.
For Miles' mom, we'll
Good.
do that'll be a thing.
That's the
in the
only one.
podcast. We'll
For
do
Miles'
for
mom.
Miles' mom's explanation minute.
Right. You guys could create a
did-
hashtag for it.
Did tell me
Yeah.
that my dad really did appreciate for the first episode how easily you explained that because my dad he's in tech and he understands. He has a very high
Yeah.
level understanding, but the way that you explained it, he was like, "Brav, you got to tell
Yeah.
that other guy."
The other guy.
It's like, I can't see faces. I can tell that other guy.
Right,
You did a
right.
Great job.
You can tell Josh and I were both formerly educators.
Yeah. Yeah, of
Yes.
course. Always a teacher.
I'm always like, side note.
Once
Yeah.
a teacher, always a teacher.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Advice you would give to another first-timer to the annual meeting coming next year, since you're a first-timer this year?
I would tell them to come in with an open mind, come in with the spirit to learn, come in with the spirit to engage, and to get to know people. Because someone always has something new that you're hearing, to be able to go out there and continue to move this mission forward. Because we need everyone's help to be able to continue to save lives.
That's great advice.
So good.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here on the podcast.
Thank you for
It was
having
so
me.
special to get the incoming president of AMAT. We're going to end every guest interview with 3 quick hit questions. You can't think about them. You just got to answer.
Except the first question, there's only one correct answer. Just keep that in mind.
Don't listen to him. He likes marmalade. All right. Ready? Summer or fall?
Fall.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's the correct answer.
Good job.
Okay. Peanut butter with or without jelly?
Neither.
Neither.
What?
Oh, okay. We haven't had a neither.
No, we haven't
yet.
had a neither.
Interesting. Okay.
We've had both answers swirl
Yeah.
and neither.
And neither. Okay. Is that you just don't like it, or is it an allergy thing?
I don't like it.
Okay. All right.
Too sweet?
I don't like peanut butter and jelly together, and I don't like peanut butter
Do you
by
like Reese
itself.
Cups?
But I do like Reese's.
Interesting.
Okay.
Wow, interesting. Okay, final question in honor of tonight's event here at the annual meeting, the aquarium: sea turtles or whale sharks?
Sea turtles.
Sea turtles.
Hey, sea
Excellent.
turtles are winning, I think.
I think they are winning. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Love
course.
it.
Lovely.
And enjoy the rest of your meeting.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a good one.
Great.
My name is Diana Buck. I worked at New England Donor Services for 23 years, retiring, 3 years ago, and I have been consulting within the industry for the past 3 years. Does that help?
That helps
Absolutely.
a lot.
Okay.
I told you they were super, super hard
Super
questions.
hard.
They're all about you.
And for Miles's mom, we'll tell you, because it's a running joke now, because we have to explain to anybody not in the industry who listens some of the things about the industry. For Miles's mom and Bravin's dad, Diana Buck is a legend in the tissue banking industry. She's not going to like me saying that.
Her reputation
but,
precedes.
But I can say that because she was my boss for 15 years. Yeah, here in New England. I'm also formerly from New England as well.
I also love the retiring and then the continuing to work.
Yes, I have not found it easy to retire
And-
because work was my hobby.
Well, and we are the beneficiaries of that.
Yeah, we're
We
very grateful.
Very much
Reaping the
appreciate
benefits
you.
of that
Yeah.
one.
So we've been asking guests if this is your first annual meeting. But I know the answer to that. So can you tell us when you started coming to the AATB Annual Meeting?
I came my very first year. I had a great boss. His name was Rich Luskin, and because I actually came into the organization in kind of a weird way, I came as the director of human resources and finance.
Oh.
Yeah, it's weird.
A cool pathway.
Yeah,
What was your background before that?
special education and behavioral psychology.
Heck yeah.
Yes.
Heck,
Teachers unite.
Yeah.
teacher. So, yeah, he was awesome. He said, "Yep, you're going to go to AOPO, you're going to go to AATB, you're going to learn about
Everything.
this community."
Yes.
He talked about it as a community,
Yeah.
And it is.
and man, I loved AOPO, and then I got to AATB, and I extra loved AATB
Oh.
because of the science, because of the structure.
Yeah.
I could really, a lot of it resonated with me. So, but they were very different back then.
Yeah.
The meetings, they were highly scientific.
Okay. Much
I
more
get-
technical,
Interesting.
I didn't understand anything.
which is fun for me.
But then it started, but I loved learning. This is how
Yeah.
you learn. And over the years, it has grown and developed, and it is just amazing to come
Yeah.
to today.
You bring up a really interesting point. Having been around for so long, Diana, you've seen the evolution
Yeah.
of not only the industry but the annual meeting and
Yeah.
what it looks like. I mean, I've been coming for about 10 years, 10, 12 years. And even in that time, it's evolved
It's
a lot. But I
changed.
can't imagine how different it is now.
Well, I served on the board for 10 years at AATB. And we hit a little rough patch there, and I had to step in and be the interim president and CEO while we replaced that person. And in that time, I found myself surrounded with an executive team and a board that they were just open to anything.
Oh, yeah,
And
that's
one
cool.
of the things that they were open to was taking the development of the content for the annual meeting out of a very small committee and expanding it into councils and having councils be responsible for coming up, doing all of this.
Yeah.
Right.
And look at the content that we're
Yes.
dealing with today. I'm going into all of these breakout sessions having to make a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were
Right.
just
Right.
saying
We were
that.
just talking about
one
that,
you want to
yeah.
go to.
It's like
Several.
I am totally screwed at this point.
Well, and it's funny. Even what's terrible is that even as I'm reviewing slides of sessions that I'm not in, I'm like, I hope they're reading this verbatim and there's no other discussion in here because I have so many questions. And if I've missed it, I'm
Yeah, yeah.
so sad.
Yeah.
Which is what a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a wonderful problem to have,
Yeah.
as opposed to going like, oh gosh,
Again, yeah,
I know I need to go to something. Let's pick the
yeah.
the
And
least
there are
boring one.
so many people involved in the content development
That's
now
it.
because of that.
I was
That's
just
it.
about to say
Yeah.
that. I mean, that is a kind of a testament to all the people that put their minds together
Mm-hmm.
to create this diverse spectrum.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool to see how it all, going back to Dr. Wiwa's message yesterday, it's all so linked too. So to have all these different perspectives and then it's cohesive somehow
Yeah.
is a miracle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the technology, the
Oh, yeah.
introduction of the technology
Mm-hmm.
into this meeting has just been phenomenal.
I agree.
I do kind of miss that big book we used to get, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I remember
okay,
that book. Yeah.
And I'm a bit of a slow poke when it comes to the technology, but people like Josh have helped pull me along. Okay,
IT help.
Yeah.
Other duties as assigned.
many IT folks have helped me.
Sure, I can wear that hat. Sure. So this year, Diana, what has been a big takeaway? Your favorite session? Something that's going to stick with you?
there's a lot that's going to stick with me. I have to say that keynote speaker was the best that I think we've had in a really long time.
Oh,
That's excellent.
And when I asked Josh how he found her, he blew my mind. But that was that will stick with me.
Yeah.
And I go to sessions. I go to all the sessions, that I can. And no matter how long you've been, you're coming into these and you stay open to what you're hearing, you can figure out how to take something and bring it back into your practice. That's one of the things I loved
Right.
when I actually had a group that I could maybe influence, Now I've got a practice of one. So it's like, but I was just in one session and she was saying, how aligned is your team with this and this? I'm going like,
pretty
okay.
aligned.
Well, no, I'm going like, I should be aligned. I'm just one. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't think I'm aligned. I'm going like, well, maybe I need to take some of those old things that I used to use in practice to get a group of people aligned and somehow align myself.
In your own brain. I call that having too many tabs open.
Too many tabs open all
Too
the
many
time.
tabs open.
Yep.
So I know the answer to this because you were generous enough to share this with the larger group last year when you won. Did you win the Cell Award last year? Was it the
Gene
Cell?
Moe.
Gene Moe. Congratulations last year, former Gene Moe award winner, Diana Buck. You shared this there, but I'd like for you to share this again with the listening audience because we've been asking guests this. What advice do you give to first-time attendees?
It's the advice I've given my entire career, and that is go into the meeting with your ears wide open. Go to at least one session that you know nothing about, that has no relevance to your work. That's how we learn. That's how we grow. And put your hand out and network with at least one person that you don't know. Whether it's I love the first timers because you can see them like, oh.
Yeah, I love the additional ribbon. Yeah,
The additional
first-time
ribbon,
ribbon.
Yes.
Yep.
Because I was told at the beginning of this meeting to put my hand out to at least the first timer and talk to them. I did that with 2 first timers,
Nice.
and I could ask a series of questions. But that's what I would say. Be present.
Yes.
Like show up.
Yeah. That's what you're here for.
Go to something that you don't know about and put your hand out
Absolutely.
and network with at least one other person. That's how we build our community.
100%.
You said that last year about going to something that you don't know, because our what we want to do is probably go to the sessions that are consistent with our roles and our title.
It's what you're comfortable with.
Yeah, what we're comfortable with. But get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And attend a session. If you're in recovery, go to a QA session or going distribution session or something like that, so you can start to get a feel for what others, colleagues are facing all the time.
Yeah. And when I first came, everything was new to me.
Yeah.
It was open to everything.
You don't know
Right.
what you don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
still don't know what I don't know, but
You're closer.
but I am a little bit closer. But now it's more like, now everything is irrelevant to my work, and yet everything is very relevant.
Yes.
Because I work with clients who, pull me in on all kinds of different things. So it's kind of cool.
That's everything.
Like, okay,
Excellent.
I kind of understand what you're talking about here.
Great advice. Loved it last year. Thank you again for repeating it. We're gonna finish things up. Thank you so much for being here.
Very welcome. I wanted to experience this
Yes.
because this is new.
You're famous.
Obviously, you know what you mean to me, Diana. Thank you so much for being here. Probably one of the reasons I am where I am today is Diana Buck. So thank you so much.
I love hearing that, but I'm not sure that's
So we're gonna end with 3 quick hit questions.
Okay.
You can't think about them. You just got to answer.
Okay.
Okay. Summer or fall?
Oh, summer.
Okay.
Wrong.
Don't listen to
The
bro.
wrong answer. It's always fall.
Summer
Peanut butter with or without jelly?
with jelly.
With jelly. Okay.
What flavor jelly?
Oh, grape.
Grape jelly.
Interesting.
Excellent.
That's the standard
Yeah.
answer. Okay.
And finally, in honor of tonight's aquarium event here at the annual meeting, sea turtles or whale sharks?
Oh, whale sharks.
Whale sharks.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for being here, Diana. Enjoy the rest of your meeting.
Thank
All
you.
right. Welcome to the Tissue Connection once again.
Yeah.
Is this your first annual meeting, or how many times have you
This
been?
will be my second one. I went to the one in Baltimore, and then I showed up last year at the end to go tour a DCU in Colorado. Then this will be the full one again.
Oh,
so,
nice. Excellent.
Yeah,
Well, welcome. How do you like this meeting so far?
love it. It's
Yeah.
great. It's always fun to come get with others that love tissue banking and have great ideas and just kind of throw things off each other, and it's always fun.
Tell us about like a takeaway or something, a session that really stuck with you, or things you want to bring back to your own organization.
Earlier, there's environmental monitoring. So we're working on getting our own freestanding DCU for our organ side and also for tissue recovery. And that's kind of one of the pieces that no one's really like, hey, we need to make sure we're doing environmental monitoring, making sure there's not any bioburden, all that in the operating rooms and stuff. So we're like, hey, we probably should get this on page and see what's going on.
Yeah, that's excellent. And you brought up a good point, because we just talked about this with our past guest, Diana, how many different types of sessions there are.
Yeah.
Right? And so we encourage people to go to sessions that maybe, that's not part of their regular role or title, and environmental monitoring is one of those that
Yeah.
there are a lot of people that probably don't even think about that
Yeah.
as part of being part of tissue banking.
Yep,
Yeah.
100%.
Tell us what brought you into the industry.
Yeah, so I've been in the industry for 7 years now. Is back in 2018, I got my degree in hospitality management, worked in food service, catering, all that fun stuff. And my brother-in-law was the manager of the iBank and was like, for 5 years, hey, come work with us. You'll be good in the donation center. You're good talking to people. You can talk to families. And I was like, I like where I'm at. Life kind of turned. I was like, I'm ready for a change. And just kind of jumped into it, worked in the donation services for 3 years, talking to families about tissue donation.
Nice.
Then I moved over to the training side. I was a clinical educator for that same department for about 3 years. And then recently just moved over to facilities to help oversee construction and all the asset management and everything. So kind of just, moving around to...
What's been your favorite? Because you've made some progression
Yeah.
through your time. What's been your favorite role so far?
I mean, training's always been one of my passions with my old job training, and with this, it was always fun to have someone come in that knew a little bit about tissue banking or had some medical experience and be able to help show them the world of tissue banking, how to support the families. And like, they'd always come and be like, oh, we're talking to families, and like, it's a tough conversation, and death's not happy, but it's being able to teach them, hey, you can give these families hope that will help them later. They may not see it now, but in 3 years, they'll be like, I'm glad I had the conversation, get that closure. So it's fun to see them start from not knowing anything to being successful people themselves.
Yeah, that's
That's
great. Yeah.
Amazing answer. Yeah.
So I'm very curious as to how your work in family eligibility determination training informs what you're currently doing.
Yeah, so
Talk about that, because that's an interesting jump, I think.
very interesting jump. So it just kind of not really fell into place, but it was one of those where the manager for that facilities department was leaving, and they wanted someone that understood what we did. They didn't want to bring someone from the outside to oversee, the facilities and helping out, being a support department, one behind the scenes that didn't know what we did.
Right.
And so when I was interviewing, they were like, hey, Josh, we think you'd be a good fit for this. And so I was talking to my boss, our CFO, and I'm like, I don't know construction. I didn't go to school for this. I've never been a GC. And he's like, I don't need you to build things or do wiring. I need you to help manage and make sure the projects are getting done and make sure things are being done right and make sure when we're audited, everything's in par.
Yeah.
So kind of was like, all right, then let's just, I jumped into the donation field not really knowing anything. So it's like just building upon that. And it's been fun. Been a fun year and a half, learning the different side of the business, of working with hand in hand with quality when audits are happening, temperature monitoring, having to fix toilets, plumbing, all that fun stuff. So
Wow.
kind of being that support now for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
clinical teams to be able to do their jobs right.
What a nice throughway. We talked about this again, Dr. Uriwa, like those common lines.
Yeah.
Right? Like we see that with what you're doing. That's very, very cool.
Yep.
That's interesting. I'm glad you sat down.
Thanks.
This is cool.
Thanks,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Got a text, hey, come on the podcast. Okay, I'll be
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Excellent. Excellent.
Michael's the man.
Yeah. Used to work with Michael back at NDN, so he's a good
Oh,
dude.
nice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
We like him too.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes. So what do you find, what would you give advice to new attendees first coming to the AATB Annual Meeting?
First advice for the first attendees. don't try to remember everything because there's a lot of information, but utilize the app. Like having those slides to be able to turn back to later is such a big thing. You're like, there's so much good information. Being able to download those, but also take notes in the app. Like being able to just take notes directly into the app instead of I write notes in papers, then I'm like, oh, I found a notebook from 3 years ago. Or now it's like in the app itself and you can download it. Yeah. We all have those notebooks. You're like, oh, I don't remember what I did with this project. But like in the app, you can take a note directly into it. So take the notes you can and always turn back to it when you have a question.
Yeah, that's great advice. We haven't heard that one yet. That's pretty good.
All the advice has been great, but they've all been a little unique too.
Yeah, and I think, we just talked about this again with Diana about how the annual meeting has evolved over the years. She talked about technology and using technology, and the app is something that's, the past 5 or 6 years, I think, has been becoming more and more kind of ubiquitous in terms of people's experience with the annual meeting.
It's been notifying me like, hey, this is coming up. This is going on. It's like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Whereas like 2 years ago, it was just here's your schedule at a glance, and it was kind of, still up and coming out. It's like, oh, yeah, don't forget to go do this.
And having access to the slides. And that's very
huge.
Cool. Excellent. Well, Josh, thank you so much for being here on this podcast, The Tissue
fun.
Connection. We're ending every guest interview with 3 quick hit questions. You can't think about it. You just got to answer. Bravin already probably gave you a little bit of a spoiler in one of the answers.
There's only one correct answer for the first question.
Don't listen to him. Ready?
University of Utah is the best football team in the Big 12. Oh, no. Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
No. It's not that deep.
No. Summer or fall?
Fall.
Correct.
Excellent. That'll make Bravin
Born and raised
happy.
Utah, so fall time, leaves changing.
Correct.
Peanut butter with or without jelly?
With
jelly. Okay, excellent.
Honey's a good substitute as well.
Honey is a good substitute.
The second person that has said that one.
And
butter, honey,
finally, in honor of tonight's event here in Atlanta at the Atlanta Aquarium, sea turtles or whale sharks?
Turtles.
Turtles. I think turtles is winning.
Finding Nemo, man.
Yeah, Finding
I'm
Nemo.
a Finding Nemo kid. You got to grow up,
Hey, listen, real quick, I made a joke earlier that no one heard. No one laughed, I don't think. That's all right. Thank you, bro.
I got you.
And because Finding Nemo is what made me think of this.
Yeah.
I'm like, I would like to see a sea turtle riding a whale shark.
I mean, hey.
Right?
Anything can happen.
Yes.
The aquarium.
Excellent.
Just,
Anything can happen.
Just don't ride the turtles.
That's a good point. Or the whale sharks. Josh, thank you so much for being
appreciate
here.
it.
Enjoy
Thanks,
the
guys.
rest of your meeting.
Have a good one.
Excellent. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Stefan Bernal. I work for Life Health. How are you?
Welcome, Stefan. It's good to see you.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, of course. Tell us what your title is at LifeNet. What do you do?
Manager of National Recovery Network.
Excellent. And for those that are new to tissue banking, what does that entail? Like,
The joke is for Miles' mom and
Miles'
for
mom.
Bravin's dad
Yeah,
because neither of them have any tissue banking experience.
so we have to
Obviously.
explain it for people.
Yeah, we have to dial it back just a little bit. So
Yeah,
what does that
sure.
mean?
So when we procure the tissue or recover the tissue at LifeNet Health, there's a national recovery network that we work with partners, and then there's our internal LifeNet Health recovery teams. I work specifically with the National Recovery Network with the partners, and we go out and we send our national trainers to go out and train their procurement teams and the recovery teams how to recover the tissue, but in a manner that we expect and ensure that it's standardized.
Excellent. Yeah. So I love the national trainer roles and the manager roles, account managers, because I think you guys have this unique benefit of basically knowing a lot of people and networking on your day-to-day. So when you come to things like this, I think it could be a different experience for those that are just at OPOs that kind of work in more of a silo, where you all have this greater global connection. And I wonder, what does the annual meeting mean to you? And Bravin, you can answer this too, because your role at your organization is kind of the same. But what does it mean for you all to come to the annual meeting? What do you try to take away from it? Because you're already sort of networking in your day to day. So what is it? How is it different for you all than maybe like an OPO person who doesn't get to network on a daily basis?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I am very pro AATB. I've kind of, when I first started in 2016, starting to take the test and really figure out how to get CTBS certified and to become like more a part of AATB, I started to realize that there needs to be guardrails for what we're doing, and AATB creates a lot of those guardrails.
Right.
And guardrails, there's just a lot of structure that AATB provides that the agencies and organizations like us, we adhere to and we follow and we contribute to. But I actually think that this industry is much bigger than a lot of people think that it is, and I think AATB is going to be instrumental. So this is actually my favorite conference to come to throughout the year. I go to many of them, but I think it's the most powerful for our industry, and I also think that it puts together the right people. I've been coming to these since 2016, and I've just really enjoyed it.
Nice.
I've had these meetings in two different positions. Previously as the trainer at Artivion, and then now as the account manager. And it was different because I felt like as the account manager, there's almost more networking that's happening because we're trying to make sure that we can catch up with those recovery groups that we work with, because we all work all around the United States, and it's like I can't make it out to see everyone all at one time, but a lot of them are here, so we try to catch up with them and see how things are going and what we can do to strengthen the relationship, address any issues that might be going on, and things like that. So I think that's what we use these meetings a lot for. I mean, we try to attend the sessions. I mean, I'm speaking at one of them tomorrow, but we try to meet with the groups when we can to kind of have those communications with them.
And what I find interesting is that we're coming to this conference every single year, and we see a lot of the same organizations, a lot of the same faces, but it's interesting because we're all working on the same map. And that
100%,
map is right in front of us, and I do find that interesting. It's all different approaches or different ideas and different opportunities, but it's all the same map.
That's a great way to put that. Absolutely.
It ties back to when David was here earlier, where he was like, oh, I'm in a small organization, and interacting with some of these bigger organizations, it's like we're all doing the same thing. We work for different organizations, but we're both doing the same thing. We're both trying to maximize training outcomes and maintain these relationships, and it's just on a different level.
And that aspect makes you be able to learn from anybody, right? We can learn from anybody. There's nobody that's off the table in terms of like who you meet, who you network with. You can take something away, whether or not it's just, kind of sharing stories about the same challenges or obstacles and celebrating successes together. No one's off the table. You can learn from everybody.
100%.
Stefan, I know that you and I met at, I think, AOPO many years ago. And so I think, for you and I, that was my first AOPO. I think it was maybe your first. Thinking back to your first annual meeting, whether it's AOPO or AATB, what advice would you give to first-time attendees?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
Just because I have so many thoughts in my head regarding like what we're doing.
Yeah.
And
first one that comes to mind.
I would say just meet as many people as you can and introduce yourself and write your own story.
Yeah.
And kind of, I don't know, I play a lot of video games. I play a lot of VR. And so like, you put on an avatar or you put on a certain personality, and throughout those video games, people will be like, "Oh, there he goes," or "There he goes." And if you change that avatar, then all of a sudden, like they don't know who you are anymore. So there's a certain story that you should try to tell when you come to these conferences, and just kind of represent yourself. That's what I would. That's
good advice. Again, that's new. We haven't heard that one yet. Yeah, that's good.
But I will say, I think it's cool that everyone in some way has said, interact with other people, put yourself out there, network, but everyone said it in their own way. I mean, we've had 5, 6, 7 people run through.
Count.
There's been a bunch of people that have come through.
So thankful for everybody sitting down.
Come through, and they're all saying the same. They're all saying different things, but it has like the same underlying meaning, which is super
the
cool.
same impact.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? Yeah. That's interesting.
Words are hard for me sometimes. It happens.
Stefan, tell us about this annual meeting. So what takeaways, things, your favorite sessions, things you're going to take back with you? What has been a kind of a highlight for you?
I'm going to stick with it. The people, seeing all the same faces, it's been a huge highlight. I'm enjoying the sessions. I don't necessarily have a favorite right now that I want to dive into, but yeah, I just really enjoy the environment. I enjoy seeing the story of this industry and seeing the story of people's faces every year that we come here and kind of like understand where we're at and what we're trying to do. Like I really do think there's that one map, and I'm sorry if I didn't answer it fully.
No,
but,
that's good.
I'm still trying to digest all the sessions.
Yeah.
I'm trying to digest all the feedback that's coming from those sessions, because there's been some pretty intense sessions, and there's been some intense feedback that we're getting, even just from an organizational standpoint. You got
Right.
people coming up, it's like, what are we going to do after that session? Like,
Yeah,
after
yeah.
we just heard that information.
Yeah.
So,
a lot to
I'm enjoying,
process.
but I'm just enjoying the seriousness of it. I'm enjoying the collaboration of it, and just understanding where we're going to go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of
Excellent.
course.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Stefan, thank you so much for sitting down with us here at the Tissue Connection. We're going to wrap up with 3 quick hit questions we've been asking all the guests. You can't think of it. You just got to answer. Don't even think. Don't worry. These are not hard,
The first question only has one correct answer,
according to Brevin.
according to me.
Okay. You ready? Summer or fall?
Summer.
Wrong.
No, that's
It's fall.
I
It's
love
fall.
I love
fall is
both.
the correct answer.
But Brevin is obviously a fan of the fall. Peanut butter with or without jelly?
Oh, with jelly.
With jelly. Okay. I think
What
that's
kind of
winning,
jelly?
by the way.
Grape jelly,
Yes.
not jam.
Grape is winning. What about a marmalade?
I mean, it'll do.
It'll do. we had one say a swirl. They have to mix together.
I've
and that's how
recently
they
been doing cream cheese and honey.
Ooh, that is good.
Cream cheese with
I
just a little
fan of
drizzle
both of
honey.
those.
Beautiful.
And finally, in honor of tonight's aquarium event here in Atlanta, sea turtles or whale sharks?
Sea turtles.
Sea turtles.
Turtles are
But I do think I do hope that I see an octopus tonight.
Oh, excellent.
Because
okay.
and the reason I say that is because I looked it up and I looked hard. It's never been documented that someone has allowed an octopus to watch a surgical environment, an operating room, or even a recovery. And I find that interesting just because
That's super interesting.
what would it do? What if it was glued to the glass the whole time
Yeah,
that we
yeah.
were doing that? But the only reason I say that is because with the age of artificial intelligence and these technologies running
Right.
now more and more in those environments, there's us recovering as an intelligence. There's the intelligence in the room. I just want to put one more intelligence in the room
Yeah.
just to see what it does.
Yeah.
And to be the first one to do it.
Yes.
I have one follow-up question to that.
Yeah.
What did you Google to come up to come up with that?
I didn't Google anything. We were in the OR in a clinical training space, and we had the intelligence running. Sorry. And we were talking about intelligences, and
Yeah.
then we were talking about animals, and then I was like, dude, an octopus is mysteriously powerful and
Yeah.
mysteriously intelligent. What if we brought one in here just to let it watch and see what it did? So
All he had to say was, we were having a discussion in an operating room, and I know because those conversations can get real interesting indoors, and I'm sure anyone that's listening that does recoveries knows that those conversations. So that makes total sense.
But
I was
also-
very confused at first.
But also, anyone out there listening, if they do happen to accomplish letting an octopus watch, I really just want to know
Yes.
what it does.
Reach out to Stefan.
we'll put Stefan's information
And
in the bottom.
you have also inspired me to hope I see an octopus as well now. Yeah, for sure.
Just
All
be
right.
careful. Just I mean, they escape places.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. I've seen those stories. Stefan, thank you so much for being here. Enjoy the rest of your meeting.
Thank you very much. Thanks for
All
having
right.
me. I
Excellent.
actually I really enjoyed this, and I want to
Yeah.
do it again sometime.
All right.
Absolutely.
Thank
We
you.
will write that down.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Oh, you got it.
I'm Michael Palmisano. I'm the Director of Tissue Operations for We Are Sharing Hope SC in South Carolina.
Excellent. And how long have you been in the industry for?
Going on 13 years.
13 years.
Yeah.
And what did you do before? What brought you to tissue donation?
Yeah, so I used to work as a pediatric neonatal flight medic in North Carolina.
How did I not know that?
Yeah, so that's where I started. I started at EMS, worked my way up, did trauma, did burn, and then went into emergency and critical care transport. I've always been, because I know like leading into this and like what was the transition into donation, I was always impact driven. And working in a hospital and dealing with patients, you had to change the impact of one person at a time.
Yeah.
And I had to make referrals to the OPO when there was a death, and then I learned more about it, and then I learned about the impact, especially to tissue donation, where you have one impact of one death that then impacts up to or more than 75 lives. And I thought
Right.
that was very interesting, and that's when I made the switch.
Yeah. So you have, I think you just described a similar moment I think all of us have at some point where it's like something clicks and you're like, oh, this is it.
Yeah.
This is the industry.
Yeah,
Right.
this is where I will maybe never retire from, because I will
Yep.
just work until I can't.
That's right.
Yeah. So I know that you get involved in training in your role. So tell me about. I'm just thinking about like that moment, right? How cool is it to see that in a new hire?
Yeah, and I think it's been awesome, and I think that's what was kind of missing in our industry over time, where we didn't do things like emergency services or a hospital does with training.
Right.
And then
right.
we'd always heard, we'd all felt it when we started years ago, and training was always an issue, or we always felt that we were fed to the wolves, or you would read the policy and then go into the OR and you wouldn't know how to connect from there. And then being able to have a training program now where the staff feels confident the first day that they walk into the OR because what we provide to them before they even get to the OR.
Yeah.
Connecting all those dots, connecting to the purpose, connecting to the why.
You're setting them up for success.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it helps. Like, I know a lot of times when you have somebody in training and you put them on the schedule and then your team gets burnt out because they're doing recovery plus the training, and then being to have this dedicated training program where we're facilitating a lot of that beforehand helps decrease the burnout for the team, and then the team's knowing that the moment somebody gets to them that they're able to facilitate a function.
Yeah, absolutely.
It makes the team feel valued as well because you're putting extra effort. I mean, I've been in several training roles, and I know that, like you said, burnout, when you're every case that you're doing, they're taking 2, 3, 4 times as long because you're having to train. And I mean, I love training, so like it didn't really bother me too much, but I could see that it led to some burnout in some people. And
that's right.
Like you said, having a dedicated training program that sets them up for success and provides them everything and probably more than they need for when that first time they step into the OR, when they pick up that scalpel and they're ready to impact lives.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the first time they nervously make an approach to a donor family, a potential donor family, right?
Yeah.
So I know that you have been at an annual meeting. This is not your first time because you and I have been in many together. What advice would you give for a first-time attendee coming to the AATB annual meeting for the first time?
Relax. Breathe.
Relax, yeah.
Don't feel shy. I know that's easier said than done, but I think like if you look around, and especially like we've learned over time that the majority of people who come to these are either it's like a split new people or somebody who's been here before. And I think that's what I've loved about our badge buddies and stuff like that on here too. It kind of helps signal that out, and it's always ask questions. Just try to breathe, relax, act like you're at work. We're all colleagues. We may not know each other, but we know what we do, and I think that kind of just helps go from there. So
I agree. I mean, we've talked about this with many guests, but the networking and collaboration and the learning from each other, that's the real big takeaway. And what we've done, I think, in the industry, in the education part of it, and coming together for events like this, is to make our world smaller. Right, and make more of those connections. Michael, you are a member of the core planning team for the annual meeting. How do you think, as somebody that helped plan the agenda and the content, how do you think this meeting is going so far? Is it consistent with the theme? What are your takeaways and thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's been nice, especially seeing the preliminary sessions and stuff coming together and how well, and even the fact of connecting things to the direction of where AATB is heading, especially with the international component and trying to grow and expand and having all that insight. And I think that's what's been really nice about this year is seeing the different classifications of how we do things, but also making it tied into the future of where our industry is going while navigating certain climates that we're also dealing with as well too. Because there's been a lot of those sessions where it's been helpful. Like I said, like there's people who are new here, and then there's people that are in leadership, and I think that's what's helped us break out the sessions is where we kind of can tailor to both worlds in that aspect instead of focusing on just one historical component of where we are in an industry.
No, I completely agree, and I mean I see the same thing. And that's super motivating, inspiring to see that as the result. Now, thinking about you individually, what are your takeaways so far? What have been your highlights, the sessions that really spoke to you?
I think the biggest thing outside trying to have that unbiased opinion, especially with helping set up a lot of this, I think one of the neat things has been the conversations between the sessions. We're in that climate where there's a potential lot of change that's going to impact our industry in 2026, either from the OPO side and changes to the AATB. What's been nice to hear, and one of my biggest takeaways, is how supportive everyone is being right now.
Right.
People are checking on other OPOs and tissue
Yeah.
banks, and people transitioning into different positions, and everyone's like, hey, let me know if you need help. And I think that's what's been really nice to connect, because that kind of goes into the whole mission of this year's meeting as well too. It's not just about the advancements in future, but also like, how can we help each other?
Yeah.
Like, let's get back to the basics of support and help. So
Another great and unique answer.
Yep.
This is awesome. Well, I think we've kind of reached the end of our time.
Yeah.
Here for the Tissue Connection, this live recording of the podcast here at the AATB Annual Meeting 2025. For those that are haven't listened to episode 1, please do so. Be on the lookout for future episodes as we come out and bring you some brand new content and some exciting things we have planned for the future. But we do have to end this with our 3 quick hit questions.
You got it.
For Michael, even though he helped us come up with them, I still want to make him answer on the spot. Here we go. Summer or fall?
Fall.
Good.
Peanut butter with or without jelly?
Peanut butter. Without.
Without.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like that wasn't the answer.
That was me not.
Yeah,
That was a statement.
And finally, sea turtles or whale sharks?
Ooh, sea turtles.
Sea turtles. Sea turtles has
Sea turtles
won.
won. Sea turtles won.
Sea turtles has definitely won.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here, Michael. Thank you for
thank
helping
you.
us, being our guest recruiter. Bravin, thank you for being here. Thanks to Bravin's dad and Miles' mom. And we will see you all next time.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.